Hi, welcome. I'm gonna do a beginner Seint cream makeup tutorial and I hope you can join me. Stick around if you wanna see a tutorial on how to just use one brush and just 4 colors of Seint Makeup to do your makeup. I think it's a great way to get started, especially if you've never used this system before and you want to jump in and give it a try. And I know several of you have started with just a 410 compact, and that's what this one is, and just this brush here, which is called the 3D brush. So I thought I would come on and take the opportunity to demonstrate, mostly to demonstrate how to use this brush to do your whole face, from contouring to adding the highlighting and the brightener and blending, and even the lip and cheek, or your cheek color too. Okay, so thanks for hopping on. If you have questions, make sure you ask and hit the little question bubble. That makes it stand out great. And Amy, I know we're gonna have Black Friday specials, but I think they'll be announced a little bit closer to Black Friday. They always hold off on announcing those, even to us artists. So as soon as we know, we will let everybody know as well. So I'm glad you joined me though. I hope you can stick around. All right, let's get started. So how many of you, give me some hearts or let me know in the comments if you already use Seint 3D foundation. And if you don't, you know, feel free to ask me any questions as we go along. What's holding you back? What are you nervous about? Why haven't you tried it? Maybe I know you've seen it, seen several artists or myself demo it. So let's get started. I want to show you how to use the 3D brush to do your makeup with the contour, 2 highlight shades, which is what we call our foundations. One that's more like my skin tone or foundation shade, and one that's more of a brightener. And then a lip and cheek color. And I chose a very good neutral lip and cheek shade. This one's called Nude. It's really great for, it's just a great shade that you can use for cheeks. You can use it on your lips. You can use it as eyeshadow, and I'll demo it all that way. So hey everyone. Okay, let's get started. So I'm gonna take the 3D brush. It's a 2-ended brush. It's got more of a kind of a puffy, more dense end that flares out just a bit. And then a brush over here that actually looks more like a large paintbrush. So I'm going to use this end first to apply my contour. Now a great tip is to actually pinch this and swipe it over your contour shade to pick up the color. And then if you pinch it, it's going to give you a little bit more control so that you're not getting it too wide, because you can always layer and blend this out. So what I'm doing is I'm applying some contour, and it's cream up here on my forehead. And the adding contour actually helps define our bone structure. It adds a bit of a shadow, especially up on your forehead. So right away, you can see by adding some contour up here along my hairline, and it's bringing my forehead down a bit and focusing more on kind of leaving this area brighter and hopefully drawing your eye down to my eyes, okay? And speaking of that, I started here just by, with a clean face. I did darken up my eyebrows a bit so they weren't invisible. And I put some mascara on, but that's it. That's all I have on. So also you can continue to pinch this, dab a little bit more into the contour, and then you can come right up underneath your cheekbone and just hug your cheekbone. You can either tap it or you can just kind of swipe it up underneath your cheekbone there. So you can kind of see how that, even when I look forward, you can see a little bit of that shadow. So that's all we're doing, is adding a shadow underneath our cheekbones to help define that. And it's buildable, which is great. So you can add more if you need to, but that's all we're doing, is just making those cheekbones pop a bit and defining those. The last place, well, you can put some contour down the sides of your nose. If you have a wider nose and you want to contour your nose, I usually don't do that just because I'm always like just trying to go 100 miles an hour. So if you have questions as I'm going along here, let me know. I haven't been live in a while. So the next thing I want to do is reload, and I want you to come down underneath, and I want you to do it along your jawline. Not along the side of your face, but actually along your jawline. Okay, let me see what this is. Peggy, I love your videos, but bloody hell, I must be doing this wrong. Because I end up looking like Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. Okay, Peggy, let's watch, stick around. And if you see me do something that you're not doing or something you are doing and you're like, well, why is it not looking that way for me? Then let me know. Either right here as we're kind of doing the live, because you may be having the same issue as someone else. You can also message me. So what I'm doing is I'm taking and I'm brushing this along my jawline to add a little bit of color and a shadow, and I'm putting even some underneath my chin. So contouring, okay? Forehead, cheekbones, jawline, and a little bit underneath my chin. Done. And that was done with this side of the brush. Now, if you're using one brush, and we're gonna be using this brush again, you can take just a little clean paper towel or a washcloth that you don't really care about, that you're just gonna use for your makeup, and just brush it on there. And see how it just removed a bit of that? It's gonna be fine. We're gonna use this to blend and add the blush, so it doesn't matter if we have a little bit of color left on it. All right, so we did our contouring. Now I'm gonna go in with a main shade. This shade actually can be used to kind of color correct and conceal. It's also gonna be used like my all over main shade. And I'm gonna flip over and use this side of the brush. It looks more like a little paintbrush. Now, the contours are a little bit firmer, okay, to their consistency, so you can actually kind of brush into them a bit, where your cream highlights, which are the foundations, are a little bit creamier. So we don't want to drag this in, and we don't want to apply too much. We just want to take and just kind of lightly tap and kiss this brush over it. Can you see I just have a little bit? And then I'm going to come in and I'm just going to kind of like feather paint. I'm just kind of like stippling this on, tap, tap, and just come in and just kind of feather this color on. Now, for those of you who want to know, I'm applying this color here. It's called Mango. And this is a great shade if you have more of melasma or a darker kind of medium skin tone like I do. I have a lot of color on my face, so I can get away with using this shade even as a main shade. And I'm just using a little bit, okay? So I'm just tapping it in, and then I'm just coming in and tapping it on my face, almost like in a little feathering motion. Oops. And if you get too much, don't reload the brush. Just use what's on the brush to just kind of disperse that around. Tap, tap. And you can see that, hopefully, I'm not going over the top of the contour with the makeup. I'm actually just applying it around, because the contour is going to be part of my foundation. It has coverage in it, so I don't need to apply it on there. Let me pin my hair back. Anybody have any questions so far for me? Oh, here's a big sunspot. So see the coverage I can get with this, just a little bit. And I'm just applying that all over. Okay, so what I can do right now, if I wanted to, is I can switch over to this side and I can just do a little bit of blending. And the blending is really just me kind of pouncing and tapping over the contour and the cream main shade that I just applied. And that's just nothing's on this brush. I didn't put more makeup on this brush. I'm just using this side now to blend it in a little bit, to blend it out, to make sure that nothing's too heavy anywhere, because I really want my skin to show through. I don't want to cover up everything. I don't need to layer a big thick layer of this makeup on. One, I can't do that. I've got indentations and wrinkles and pores, you know, I don't want to layer a lot of makeup on, but I still want that coverage. I still want that foundation-y, glowy look, and I can get that by using just a little bit of this makeup and just kind of pouncing it out there. Got a little something up on my eyebrow here. Okay. So I'm just pouncing and I'm just kind of blending in, making sure I'm pulling that down. That's it. So really, really natural makeup, very soft. If I wanted more coverage, I could build it up even more, but that's plenty. I really like that light foundation look. And so then what I can do now is I can take this lighter shade, which is about, this one's at least 2 or 3 shades lighter than this one. Okay, probably about 3 shades lighter. This one's called Candlelit. The main shade that I use today is Mango. And I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of this and I'm gonna brighten this part of my face. So here and here. So kind of brightening the center of my face. So again, I'm just gonna use this side. I'm gonna pick up just a little bit on the brush. I'm gonna put some up here. Let me see if you can even see it. You see the brightening? So I'm just putting just a little bit kind of up here, pulling a little bit down my nose. And I can flip the brush over and kind of work in sections as I'm doing so I don't get too much makeup, and I'm just kind of blending that in. Pick a little bit up here, put some on the inside of my eye, and feather that down a little bit. I can even pull it up onto my eyelid, kind of almost like an eyelid primer. Put a little bit out here up above my contour. And then I'm going to flip the brush over and I'm just going to pounce over to soften this a little bit. Make sure I close my eye. So I'm brightening just a little bit. It's nothing major. I'm just highlighting and brightening a bit to give a little lift on the outside of my eye and a little bit of brightening on the inside of my eye where it's darker to brighten and lighten that part of my face. But I'm not coming in and I'm not layering a lot of this color underneath my eye. One, again, I don't want creasy, crepey makeup, okay? But I still want to use a little bit of brightener and highlighting underneath my eye and on the outside of my face. So after I apply it, then I'm flipping over the other side of this brush. Now, I have to tell you, this is not my favorite brush. My two favorite brushes are the blush and bronzer brush and the detail brush. I love the detail brush because I can contour with it, and it's got the smaller end where I can get in and do the finer like this. See how much easier that is? This end of the blush and bronzer brush and this end of the 3D brush are pretty much the same for blending. I think they work great. So that's all I'm doing on this end. You can also use a beauty blender to blend, so make sure that you have one of these. This is our Perfector sponge or a beauty blender. You want to get it wet, get it damp, wring out all the water so that it's twice its size. It's just let it kind of air dry a bit so where it's cool to the touch, poofy. But you can also use this to blend in that brightener. And what else is great about using a beauty blender like this is that if you get too much makeup somewhere, you can actually kind of pull and lift it off or blend it in just to make sure that you don't want to get it too heavy. Oh, thank you, Peggy. So Peggy, I might have missed your questions here. All right. Okay, so Peggy, this is good. Do these colors suit all skin coloring? Not necessarily. These three colors are ones that match my skin tone, and how you find out the shades of contour and how highlights that work best for you is to get a color match with an artist like myself. And so you can do that. If you haven't done that before, you can do that with me, or you can do that with whatever artist that you're just really make a connection with. But it's a color match form where you send in a no makeup selfie, and then your artist or myself will send you the shades that work best for your skin tone. This contour shade is kind of a good shade for tan to medium skin tones, and then mango and candlelit are the two shades that I'm using for my skin tone. So if you think that you look like me and your skin tone looks like mine, then these shades would probably work for you, but it's best to have an artist help you and color match you. Let me see if there's anything else on here. So all it takes are 4 colors. Yes, you can do your whole face with just 1 contour shade like I just did and 2 highlights. I usually recommend 3 highlights because I like having the option of having a color corrector darker shade, a mid-tone shade, and a brightener shade. That way, no matter what time of year it is, no matter what time of month, if I'm sunburnt, if I have a breakout, I always have the 3 shades that are gonna work because I can mix them and tap them together. And then this is a lip and cheek shade. So speaking of that, this is called Nude. It's cream also. I'm checking messages here as we go along. I don't want to stop and bore you. Okay, so we're gonna take, good, make sure that you click on the, message me later or click on the link in my profile and there's a color match form right there. It just says free color match form. So you can use this same brush to apply your blush. You can apply your blush with your finger as well. You can use it on as lip. It's a lip color. This is called Nude. It's such a great color. This color, everybody can wear it. Really great. You can apply it with your finger. You can also just dab this side and apply it right here. See the color there? So I'm just tapping it right above my contour, and then I'll just use that brush just to lightly blend it in. It's really pretty color, really subtle, but it is more of a satin or a matte shade, so it's going to wear really nicely all day. It's just a great shade for everybody. All right. So yeah, cool or warm skin tones, I would definitely say that it's just so much better to get a color match by sending me your no makeup selfie. That's the best way, because you fill out a little questionnaire, answer some questions about your skin tone, your hair coloring, your eye coloring, not your hair, your eye color, your skin tone. Send me that no makeup selfie. That is the best way to get the proper color match. I'm using that Nude as a little bit of a cream eyeshadow, just putting that right across my lid there. Really, really simple. Look at that pop. I mean, how easy is that? So I've got my eyeshadow, my lip color, my blush, contouring, a little bit of color correcting, foundation, some highlighting or brightening, concealer, all in one compact. That's it. When you're done, you want to set your makeup with some setting spray. So if you have setting spray, you know, a lot of us have makeup setting spray. You just want to make sure it's water-based. So this is a setting spray, and you're just going to either spray it all over your face, spritz it here on a beauty blender and tap it on, or you can actually take a big fluffy brush, like this is the blush and bronzer brush, and spritz it there and apply it that way. And so you always want to set your makeup when you're all done so that it wears nicely throughout the day and it doesn't come off. Here's the great thing, it doesn't really rub off or come off when you use the right amount and you have the right shades. That's the key. If you find that you have this makeup and you're using way too much of it because it's not covering or it's showing texture, then your shade is probably too light and you need to go with a little darker color. I put my mascara on first. I always have. I just feel more put together as soon as I put my mascara on. Plus it dries really well. And then I know it's set and I don't get mascara all over when I'm done. So personal preference, I like to do my eyebrows and my mascara first. Just personal preference. No right or wrong order in that at all. At all. So that's a great question. Well, I hope, thank you for joining. If you have questions, I'm just flipping through to see if anybody had a question for, any more questions for me. Definitely let me know. If you want to get color matched and you haven't yet, reach out to me. And let's see, is there anything else here? All right, well, happy midweek. Hope you have a great rest of the week. And I'll save this for later as a video in my feed. So if you came on late and you missed part of this, catch it in my feed and you can just comment replay and still ask questions and always message me. Always message me if you have any questions for me. So excellent. Thank you so much and have a great day. And I really appreciate you popping on here and hanging out with me. Okay. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.